Shalom, it's the brother Hazarayah back again with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakathum, to the hopefully elect, the sincere Akim and Akwath, tabernacle of David out there laboring in his truth. So we seeing a lot of rebellions, seditions among men in this time. You had a General Motors strike that just got resolved recently. Before that, it was UPS. They was they was on strike, saying that they not coming to work because they need XYZ, higher wages, better benefits, AC in their trucks. Now you have Kaiser Permanente. 75,000 Kaiser Permanente workers walk off the job. It's the largest healthcare worker strike in U.S. history. So amid all of the strikes that you've been having going on recently, which has been a lot, this is the biggest in U.S. history, which that goes into what? Unprecedented. And that's a word ever since the beginning of this year, 2023, you've been seeing a lot in the news. Many unprecedented events, things that you've never seen before. This is the largest healthcare worker strike in U.S. history that there's ever been. So we're at a point now, you can see America circling the drain. This place don't have that much longer left. Between all of the seditions, people rising up against the government, rising up against each other, crime going crazy, people losing jobs. There's a mass eviction crisis going on right now in America. It's affecting many people. The government is using its money foolishly on things that are not really needed, or could go to other things to benefit the actual people of America. But see, the thing is, the people that run America, which are the elites, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, names like that, they want America to fall. Because Klaus Schwab, head of the World Economic Forum, this is all part of that great reset. So in order to reset, there must be a collapse. There must be chaos in the midst. And from the chaos, the new order can arise. Everyone is on to it now. Gas prices are getting higher. Groceries are through the roof. And inflation is still continuing to climb. It's not going down. The U.S. is $300 trillion in debt. So you have a lot going on. And because of the state of the economy, more people are voicing their frustrations over their quality of living. They can't afford to buy a new car. Most people can't even afford to get repairs on the car that they already have. Can't afford mortgage, can't afford to go on vacation. People can't afford a break, man. So many people are at the breaking point. And this is why you have 75,000 plus Kaiser Permanente workers walk off of the job. We ain't working no more. Because the wages that they're receiving is not adequate enough to sustain their life. It's not adequate to sustain a family. And a lot of these workers, they're working understaffed every single day. Every day you go to work, they tell you that you have to do more work because somebody called out or somebody quit, but they're not paying people more for the work that they're doing. So it's pretty much now you're just wearing yourself out and you can't even make ends meet. So people are just at the point now, they're like, yo, fuck it. I just, you know what I'm saying? We walking off the job. What else do we have to lose? We already losing everything already. On Wednesday, more than 75,000 unionized employees of Kaiser Permanente, one of the nation's largest not-for-profit health providers, walked off the job, marking the largest healthcare worker strike in U.S. history. The striking employees, who work across California, Colorado, Washington, Virginia, Oregon, and Washington, D.C., are represented by a coalition of 8 unions that comprise 40% of Kaiser Permanente's total staff. The vast majority of the striking workers are in West Coast states. And we know what's happening out there in the West Coast. Inflation, and you think inflation on the East Coast is crazy, out there it's even worse. In places like San Francisco, hey, you having to pay $4,000 and up a month for a 1-bedroom apartment. And that's to live in a nice area. You know what I'm saying? And even if you in the more impoverished areas, 3,000 and up. People having to have roommates, grown people having to have roommates live with them just to afford a place to live. And they still barely getting by. So no wonder you're seeing people just fed up, man. People ready to go to war. And this is why crime is increasing. This is why people are just losing hope. Because this world is passing away. People are losing their minds, man. And it's only going to get worse. The scriptures already tell you. But yeah, the vast majority of these workers are in West Coast states. The unprecedented strike, there goes that word again, unprecedented. All right, this has never happened before. This is the first time. Strike comes at a time of heightened labor activity across the United States, with tens of thousands of workers across multiple industries taking to the picket lines for better pay and benefits. In the wake of the pandemic, however, healthcare workers in particular have been fighting for safer and more secure work environments. They are demanding improved staffing levels, arguing that current staff shortages are compromising patient care and taking many workers to a breaking point. You see, and mind you, if you work for Kaiser Permanente, you're getting good money. All right, because if you're a nurse or a nurse assistant, you making upwards of $30 plus an hour. But out there in the West, California, Oregon, Washington State, mainly California, that's not no money, especially in this economy. And then everything out in the West is way more expensive. People out in LA paying $6 and up for gas. And that's for 87 base level gas. You see? So all these people going on strike. See, all these people are just walking off the job. They're like, yo, we can't do this no more. They're understaffed, they're underpaid, underfed. No one is listening to the complaints. So it's at a point now to where this is the last resort. And unless something is done, the healthcare industry in these states are going to cripple, man. Okay, these things are going to be these things are going to turn into a non-factor, which they can't have, because a lot of people depend on this healthcare system for their medication, for their care of their loved ones, of their children. So if this goes on and a resolution is not made, hey, this is only going to lead further to the further downfall of America. America circling the drain even more. You see? Let me get 2 Ezra chapter 9 in verse 2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. What have we been seeing all this year? Uproars of the people in the world. Not just in America, all over the earth. In every nation, Europe, America, South America, Canada, Africa, Asia, you name it. It's happening all over the earth, man. So this is the very same time that the Lord is visiting the world which he had made. This is the beginning of sorrows. This is just the beginning. Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand. See, so people are going to well understand when these things come to pass, that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee. Now how has the Most High spoken of these things? Through the mouth of his prophets. Okay, the Most High has set up men in these last days to bring out his word, to tell you and to plug it in with the scriptures, filter it through the scriptures to demonstrate that the Lord's word does not go out void, man. So when these things come to pass, then you're going to understand that these things were spoken aforetime, okay? Even from the beginning, you see that? For like all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. The end is manifest through what? Through the prophecies, man. Okay, through uproars of the people in the world, through death, destruction, pain. This is how you seeing the end manifest. And hey, you're gonna continue to see more strikes, man. Okay, because this came out of nowhere. This Kaiser Permanente strike, and this is a damn near 100,000 people. Just imagine if this spreads to other states. You got a revolution going on right now, man. Okay, there's a worker revolution going on right now. People are sick and tired of the bullshit. They're tired of the usury. They're tired of being worked like a damn slave. You try to take paid time off, they barely want to give you that. Time that you've worked for and accrued, you know? A lot of people is working 2-3 jobs and you know, they still can't make ends meet. They can't even afford to treat themselves to something, man. So what do you think is going to happen? Well, hey, you're going to have, and this is what it says in 2nd Ezra's, the 16th chapter. It says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, man. It's going to come a time, well, we're in that time right now, should I say, that people are not regarding, they're not going to take heed, they're not going to listen to their higher officials, to these government officials, man. The mayor, the president, the governor, even the boss at work. They're not going to listen to these people because it's like, what the hell you doing for me? I'm over here working like a Hebrew slave, you know, and I still can't make ends meet. You making my mortgage rate higher. You see, insurance is going up. Car note is just going up. Everything is going up. People are being driven to madness. You see? Let's move on to this article here. Okay, Kevin McCarthy, they just kicked him out of the House. And they did this because he basically put together a backdoor deal to keep the government running. Now, they've only kept the government running. They only did a 45-day deal. So really all they're doing is kicking the can down the road, man. They know eventually they're going to have to shut down the government. This is only going to be running for 45 days. So after that 45 days, they're going to be right back in the same situation. And they're $300 trillion in debt. You can't pay that back. And this all goes into the Great Reset. This is why, see, this is going to be that financial collapse. And you see, it's even more profound now because we're nearing the end of the year going into 2024. So we could potentially see a complete collapse by the end of this year, early 2024, man. We're in a recession right now. The BRICS nations are getting stronger. They're gathering more allies unto them, and they're moving away from the United States dollar. The dollar is not as strong as it used to be. This is why when you go to the store, you're spending more, but you're getting less. Why? Because the dollar is worthless. Okay? It's losing its worth. These other nations, Russia, China, Brazil, South Africa, and many other nations that are joining unto this coalition of economic power, they put in the middle finger to America. And America's debt is going to grow even more so because America is not a nation that is a producer. Okay, America doesn't export much. America is mainly a consumer nation. They import everything from other nations, man. So this is really hurting the economy. But McCarthy, mind you, he's a Republican and he was voted out by his own party because he kept the government running. So the Republicans, they didn't want the government to keep running. They basically wanted this shit to just shut down. You see? But he did a backdoor deal to where, it'll be up and running. People will still continue to receive benefits. Government workers will still begin to get paid. And really, I believe that they did this because it's a strategic time for them. You see, I believe that they want to wait until the weather gets colder. People are more, desperate for needs. You know what I'm saying? So then they just going to cut you off. Because, hey, after this 45-day period, they gonna have to come up with something else. And this is just me speaking as a man. I don't believe that they're gonna come up with a solution after this 45 days. Okay, this is part of the reason why they kicked McCarthy out of the House. Because they know what's coming, man. You see? 2024 purge election year. They know what's coming. So they setting this shit up perfectly, man. And a lot of people don't even know what's going on, nor do they care. So it says here, the vote to oust McCarthy and his decision not to run for the speakership again marks a major escalation in tensions for a House GOP conference that has been mired in infighting. What did Yahweh Shah say? He said, if Satan's kingdom be divided, it cannot stand. So these devils, man, these Edomites in their government are divided. They can't agree. And this is how you know that a society is on the way out. When the nation cannot agree. See, a nation, a kingdom runs best when everyone can agree. But if you sit down at the round table and you propose a plan, and you know one person is like, nah, we should do it like this, then you got the other person like, nah, I don't like that. We you know what I'm saying, we should do it like this. Another person say, no, we're gonna do it this way. Now everyone is divided. Now there's nothing but confusion. If you sit down at a round table and you propose an idea and everyone is in agreement and on the same page with that one idea, things run smoothly. But we're not at that point now. See, the Most High is taking the prudence, the wisdom away from Esau Edom. That's why his government is in shambles, man. And this is the same very thing that you had going on in ancient Rome. Okay, ancient Rome fell from within first. Then the outside enemy came in and finished them off. Okay, back in ancient Rome, you had the same thing going on with the plebeians and the patricians. Okay, their two-party system back then. It was the same thing. They could not agree. They couldn't agree on spending. They had to cut a lot of government programs. You see, they were offing their politicians because they were corrupt. So you have the same very thing going on today in America, which shows you spiritually and prophetically that America is nothing more than the revival of the old Western Roman Empire. This is exactly what was going on back then, and it's happening again today. These are the same people, the Edomites. Reading on, mired in infighting, and it comes just days after McCarthy successfully engineered a last-minute bipartisan effort to avert a government shutdown. No House Speaker has ever been ousted through the passage of a resolution to remove them. This is the first time this has happened in U.S. history, man, which shows you that this place, once again, is circling the drain. All right, America do not have that much longer left to be in power. All right, the Most High is taking away the power and the wisdom to rule from Esau Edom. As it says in Obadiah, shall I not in that day destroy the wise men out of Edom? I don't regret, this is McCarthy, his quote, I don't regret standing up for choosing governing over grievance. It is my responsibility. It is my job. I do not regret negotiating. Our government is designed to find compromise, McCarthy said at a wide-ranging press conference Tuesday evening. So again, this is division because you have some of them in the House that they want to keep the government running, but then you have others that are in the pockets of the elites, because not all of them are in the elites' pockets. You know what I'm saying? Really, it's only the higher echelon politicians that are involved with the elites like that. Okay, but you have Kevin McCarthy. He's more low level. See, you know what I'm saying? He's not really plugged in like that. So of course, he sought to find a way to stop the government from being shut down. Which, if it did get shut down, that would have been chaotic. Because we already know a lot of people would have been cut off. Okay, Biden told you that if there was a government shutdown, the black community would be the most affected. All right, SNAP would have been cut off, WIC would have been cut off, government workers. Okay, you have a lot of Jake that works for the government. They would not have gotten paid, man. So they, you know what I'm saying? So they would have been going to work and, basically for no pay, working for free. All right, but he said, hey, I don't regret negotiating. I'm supposed to, this is my job. Okay, but his own party felt differently because they wanted this shit to just, get shut down. You see, McCarthy also unloaded on his critics. Asked by Raju, is there anything he would have done differently with regard to the 8 House Republicans who voted to oust him? McCarthy joked, "Yeah, a lot of them I helped get elected, so I probably should have picked someone else." So it's division on all sides in Esau's government. And this is a beautiful thing to see. This is a beautiful thing to see the fall of our enemies now that they can't agree and that they're in so much debt. Let's get this. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up in him, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Let's skip down to verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increase that which is not his? How long into him that ladeth himself with thick clay? You see that? Now that word clay goes into the Hebrew word ibadyat, okay, which goes into debt, but it says here thick clay. So this really means heavy debt. Okay, so these Edomites, $300 trillion in debt, you can never pay that back. There is no amount of production that America could produce that could bring them out of $300 trillion of debt. And they've been kicking this can down the road for a very long time. Okay, America has been in debt for a long time. I believe when Obama got in office, he actually doubled the debt. You see, Obama actually doubled the debt, man. Like, I believe under Obama, the U.S. debt actually rose higher than it had ever been under any president. So you see, this has always been deliberate, man. Okay, going back to that 2008 financial collapse, that's really when the agenda kicked in hardcore. You see, and it's been going on for a long time, but that's really when they ramped up the pressure. All right, and now we're in another recession that's affecting the lives of many people. Verse 7, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? Now who's going to rise up? The people. The people are going to rise up, man, because once the government does get shut down and these government benefits are cut off, a lot of people are going to lose, man. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people are being evicted out of their homes right now, out of their apartments, because they can't afford to make the rent. And the only way that a lot of people are even eating right now is because of government food programs. If it wasn't for that, a lot of people would not be able to feed themselves or their children. So what's going to happen when the B-Dub, all right, the so-called black woman, they got 6, 7 kids, right? And the only way she can feed them, you know what I'm saying, she don't even work. All her money comes from Esau, come from the government. So when that's cut off, it's going to be hell out in these streets, man. Okay, listen, there's going to be a very cold spirit on these people, man. Right now, you have a lot of women that don't even want their kids no more because it's too expensive to take care of them. It's too expensive. And hey, you already know a woman is always going to look for security in a man. And if her children are stopping her from getting a man, then hey, guess what? She gonna ditch the kids. She ain't gonna give a damn about them kids. She gonna be like, yo, I need me a man. They gonna put this shit off on their mother or their grandmother and live their life. That's how it's gonna go. You gonna have people eating their kids, killing their kids, and you seeing all of this happen right now, man. But the worst is yet to come. You see? Rise up suddenly, that shall bite thee, and awake, that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. Okay, they're not going to regard their kings nor princes. They're going to rise up against the government. They're going to start looting. They're going to start stealing, murder. Okay, listen, man, purge election year. That's all I got to say. That's how it's going to be, and this is what's being set up to happen. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end this lesson right here. Hopefully this was edifying through the Rakah Kedash. In closing, call halal, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rakah Kedash. And until next time, Lord willing, Shalom unto the elect.